Welcome back to another episode of Caps Off. We're back for another day after day one of free agency.
And the U.S. run rule in Canada and the World Baseball Classic,
Of course.
baby. Come on.
Today's baseball edition.
What the fuck is maple syrup, baby? Let's go.
Does that mean they scored so much they stopped the game?
Yes. After 5 innings.
What was the score?
It was 12-1, I believe.
Oh my god! What happened? Didn't Korea beat somebody like 22-2?
Yeah, so they beat them in 5 innings doing that too. So after five innings, if you're up 15 or more, run rule, just game over. And then if after 7, it's 10 or more, game over. Dude, it was sick. All right, last baseball thing, and then we can talk football. Puerto Rico, nice.
Puerto Rico.
Yesterday, they were playing Israel. Sorry,
shout out,
gentlemen.
Yeah.
They threw the first perfect game in World Baseball
shout
Classic
out to
history.
Puerto Rico.
And the way that they did it was in the 8th inning. They were up 9 runs, and they had a walk-off hit to end the game and end it with a perfect game. And
somewhere Bad Bunny is smiling. Is he Puerto Rican?
Yeah, I believe so.
maybe.
That would have been bad if he wasn't.
I can like almost 100%.
I also know someone.
I think he's Puerto Rican.
I know
I
someone
believe he's
else
Puerto
that
Rican.
might be smiling up there, but we're probably down there.
Yeah.
But not going to name it.
I got it. But let's talk football.
You just got it.
Well, I was looking at Bad Bunny and then I thought about what you said. Yes, Bad Bunny is Puerto Rican.
All right, good save.
Puerto Riqueño.
Highs and lows. Hey, free agency though, day one.
Free agency day one.
Aaron Rodgers is going to probably sign. Well, this is going to go out on Wednesday, so we record this
Right,
on
so
Tuesday.
as of this moment, Aaron Rodgers has not yet announced anything. So
Hey, Dove
maybe
Kleiman, though,
by the
said
time this
that
is
he
out,
would be.
no, Dove Kleiman misread.
Why are we saying Dove?
Yeah.
What
Dove.
did
Dove?
No.
What did Dove say
I don't think it's
specifically?
Dove.
That
I
was
think
like
it's
healthy
Dove.
on
It's
Twitter.
I think it's Dove.
No, it's
It's
Dove.
absolutely not Dove.
I mean, it's either. But
Dude,
it's
Dove-
a Jewish name. It's an Israeli name, Dove, and it's Dove.
I don't think he's.
Oh, really?
Jewish.
Is
He's
it?
not Jewish.
Dove Kleinman? Are you
who the
fucking kidding
dude? If
me?
it's Dove, you'd spell it with
Were
the
you
E.
not on the? All right,
Nah,
we're
he's
going to talk about
he's
this.
hella foreign.
We're not going to.
We
We're
had
going to
a
talk
call.
about this off
We
the
did talk to
podcast.
him. We had a call with him.
He
I don't
is
know
not.
if we can like
I
just
can
disclose
assure
this
you he's
information. though.
not. I can assure you he is not.
Dude, a guy named
That's not. I promise you, he is not. We had a meeting with him.
We did have a meeting with him.
I can assure you. I know
All
you're
right.
Jews.
Don't break the
Hey,
tail.
Dove. Dude,
what
his
were we
name
just
is
talking
Dove
about?
Kleinman.
So what happened was
How
Trey
is
Wingo.
that man not
I
Jewish?
promise you, he does sound like. The
just
problem
saying.
is, all right,
I know
back to
someone
that.
Kleinman
the
who is
Jewish
Jewish.
name I've ever heard in my life.
So Dove, it's not Jewish. Trey Wingo tweeted out, "I'm hearing that
Friend of the
Aaron
pod.
Rodgers, friend of the pod, huge friend of the pod. Shout out to
Yeah.
Trey." Trey Wingo tweeted out, Aaron Rodgers, I'm hearing Aaron Rodgers to New York is a done deal or is almost a done deal. Like there were some words here and
yeah,
there.
something like that. But
Is almost done.
No,
I'm
and
hearing.
also hearing, right?
He's hearing.
We're hearing that too. Everyone's been saying
also
that.
hearing that.
Garrett Wilson fucking tweeted some shit that was like, "I'm
Yeah.
smiling on vacation." Was that him?
Yeah,
Well, that was because
yeah.
in response to
But I'm just
Dove.
saying, it feels like we're all hearing that anyway. It's like every fan is hearing it's done, but we haven't actually heard
Okay,
officially.
so what did Dove say?
And then Dove tweets, Aaron
was
Rodgers to
Dove.
the Jets is, and I quote, it's done.
Per Trey Wingo.
Per Trey. And it was like,
oh my god!
it
This
was
guy,
like,
this
Oh,
motherfucker.
buddy.
he said, I'm hearing, and he said, it's done. So he shifted those words. That is not a good look.
Mr. Kleinman is he's getting a lot. I don't know what
But
I
I
just
will
clicked
say,
on. He's getting a lot of hate on
Al
Twitter.
Lazard is likely going to the Jets. That is a huge move for Aaron Rodgers potentially going there. It does feel like Aaron Rodgers is going to announce his decision on McAfee. He does go on it today, on Tuesday. So
I'm so over
I'm
Aaron
over it.
fucking Rodgers, bro. He's so annoying.
Nah,
And
not
if you're
over him yet,
and if
bro.
you're the Jets, you're furious because frankly, all these free
Dude.
agents are going, elsewhere, and you've had to halt everything you want to do because of it.
Yeah.
And it's
Which
just
kinda
fucked up.
sucks.
It sucks.
It's
And then-
super selfish.
And
It's
if-
selfish.
Well, he has the ability to be selfish.
I know, but if he
Actually,
wants
when
to-
you're
if he
Aaron
wants-
fucking Rodgers, you can
If
be
he wants to
selfish.
be on a Super Bowl winning team, he should sign fucking immediately
I also-
so they can go out and get people.
I also don't agree with you that he can be selfish because he came out and said, I'm not going to hold anyone hostage based off of this decision. Last year when Tom Brady re-announced it, he did it a week before free agency and gave them time. Aaron
he's a good
Rodgers, if
person.
you're going to come out and say, I'm not going to hold anyone hostage, you're going to try and do the
Aaron
right
Rodgers
thing.
isn't Tom Brady though, so who cares?
Aaron Rodgers
Well,
is a piece of shit.
You've
God
been
damn
saying
it.
that.
Here's the thing. What if Aaron Rodgers isn't holding? He's holding them hostage, but like not. What if it's not willing?
What?
Like he's not willingly doing it. If that makes sense. Like he is just
Explain.
spending time with his family. He's just thinking.
He doesn't have a family. His family hates him.
Yeah, that is true. His family does hate
He's
him.
spending time with his like pet mouse, and he's just like
he got a
eating his
girlfriend
meals.
still,
He's
or
like
is he-
watching some TV. He's reading some books. He's like elevating his life, and he's not really thinking about like, oh, like I'm trying to like be the center of attention this whole time, make the Jets wait. He's just trying to live his life.
Yeah, but
maybe
still be-
that's
Your
what's
whole,
going
your whole,
on.
five,
could
your
still
whole
be
5 a.m. wake up shit got you thinking like Aaron Rodgers. I don't like this.
He
Yeah,
could
but-
still be negotiating.
No. The framework allegedly is done.
I feel like it's been done for
Allegedly,
days.
we've been hearing.
It's
that
Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers,
is
all he
done.
needs to say is, I want to come play. But the longer it takes shows me that even if he does go to the Jets, he's not going to be fully bought in. Like, why? It doesn't take this long to be able to look at the New York Jets roster and say, yeah, I could probably win with them. Like, are you in or you out? You got all these 23, 24-year-old kids tweeting, reading your fucking shit, saying,
Come throw me balls.
throw me balls, I'll burn the cheese.
Well, I'll tell you this: if Rodgers goes to the Jets, they're winning, and they might win it all.
Well, they
this year.
will
winning-
win some games for sure.
Yeah,
Nah,
I was going to say, winning
they're-
is an objective thing. They can do that.
They might win it all.
Texans will be winning
They
this
could
year.
They could win it all.
They could.
The Jets could go from 0 to hero.
You know, any team could win it all.
This is true. This is, hey, good take.
Hey, I'm just saying the Jets
You're
are gonna
just
be
saying a
fucking,
bunch of shit with no weight.
The Jets are gonna be fucking good, bro.
The Jets.
I
will be
don't
good.
know that.
So what, again,
If you
what
give
is
Aaron
fucking
Rodgers-
good? What is fucking good?
Bro, you got Garrett Wilson, Elijah Moore,
Alan
Brees
Lazard.
Hall, Alan Lazard down
Brees Hall's
there,
not
a
gonna-
little friend.
Brees Hall's going to be out half the year.
That's okay. Get him in the second
Michael
half of
Carter.
the year. That's fine. And
Yeah.
and what's the report that he's going to be back at the second half of the year?
Well, Brees Hall, it's another one of those Matthew Berry things. Brees Hall and Javonte Williams
Okay,
had
so those
very
are just
similar injuries.
rumors.
They are rumors.
So, but if he comes back in
They got hurt late in the year. I feel like it takes
I'm not a
long
doctor.
Hall
time.
got Brees Hall got hurt kind of like
like
the
week
first
6,
quarter.
it
I feel
feels
like
like, yeah,
something like
I feel like it
that.
was like midway through the year.
I'm not a doctor, dude.
A little
I don't
bit
fucking
before.
care. All right.
Well,
but,
ACLs nowadays are like his is ACL, right?
but it was, I think it was
both of
ACL,
them.
yeah.
PCL. It was the
Why,
whole
why,
the
why, are
month.
you, why are you so convinced, though, that Aaron Rodgers is going to get back to that MVP form?
Because I want him to.
Okay.
We were talking about this earlier. Is that someone on Twitter said that the Giants signed Mid Jones, where the Jets are going to sign the Jets are going to sign Aaron Rodgers, who's obviously a Hall of Fame quarterback, and that the Jets are going to be the more competitive team and the better team.
No, he said this is why the Jets are a more competitive team than the Giants.
Yes.
Like, buddy, the Jets have not made the playoffs in the same amount of time that the Giants
Here's
have won
my
a
take.
fucking Super Bowl.
Really? When was the last time?
Wait,
we just-
wait, Matan's
That's
got
not
a
true.
take.
That's not true.
Here's my take.
Matan's got a good
the
take.
Giants are going to finish with a better record than the Jets if they get even if they get Aaron Rodgers.
I don't mind that take.
Because the Jets are a losing franchise. The Jets are a losing organization. Aaron Rodgers is going to come to the Jets, and he's not going to be Aaron Rodgers. He's not going to be the same guy that he was. He had a bad season last year on the Packers. This year he's going to come to the Jets, and the Jets are going to find a way to
You
ruin
know
him.
what?
Go
It's
off,
like
King.
I've been saying it for days. The
off,
Jets
King.
are
You know,
gonna
bro.
Jets this.
You know what the
Whether they
comparison-
don't get him, they might not get him because we just
they
been
might not get
hearing
him.
that
They
it's
might not get
done.
him.
They might
Well,
not
no,
get
Dove-
him. But
Dove-
let's say
Dove heard it was Dove said it was done.
let's say the Jets do
Relax,
get Aaron
bro.
Rodgers. If the Jets, even with Aaron Rodgers, I still think the Jets are going to jet it and turn Aaron Rodgers into.
You know what this reminds me a lot of?
Into mid Rodgers.
I like when Matan gets
Yeah.
super passionate.
You know what
about
this
it.
reminds me a lot of, and it has to do with your shirt right here. That's what reminded me. You said losing franchises stay losing franchises.
Yep.
The Mets last year go out and get Max Scherzer. They
Yep.
got Jacob DeGrom. They got one of the best
Bro,
rosters on
fuck
paper
you,
in
Darryl
baseball.
Strawberry.
All right, let me fucking talk. Huh?
Yeah.
They got one of the best rosters in baseball, and they go out and they don't even win the division. They lose in the first round of the
Yep.
wild card of the playoffs. The Jets are going to go out and get that big signing like their Max Scherzer with Aaron
Yeah,
Rodgers.
yeah.
They're going to go out there, not win the
that's
division,
insane. Yeah,
not
that's
even probably
insane.
make the playoffs next year because Aaron Rodgers is washed. He's not even fucking good anymore.
He
doesn't care
yeah.
about football.
Look,
I mean,
It's
we've
over.
been saying that.
Yeah,
We've
we
been
have
saying
it.
that for a minute now. The Mets and the Jets.
comparison with the Mets and the Jets.
I mean,
man.
they just it's
all the same,
Just
but
move a
one
letter.
letter. It is.
Just move a letter down.
And it's just New York sports in general, except for the fucking
Knicks.
Yankees. The Knicks are terrible. They're a losing franchise. They don't win because they just are consistently bad. They'll put together a roster with guys that you look good. The Jets, same thing. The Giants.
yeah, but
The Giants got lucky and won 2 Super Bowls.
as much
No,
as
I
I
didn't get lucky.
but they
earned
weren't
those.
that
They earned
great.
those. The Giants are winning. They're
As-
a winning organization.
I
I would
agree.
still say.
In terms of if we're
Overall.
ranking winning organizations, they're probably second in New York.
As much as I hate
after
the Jets, can I
Yankees.
just
yeah.
address one point that you made, which is that Aaron Rodgers isn't even fucking good anymore. He's a year removed from the back-to-back MVP. From
Yeah,
being back-to-back
Russell Wilson
MVPs.
was a year removed from being really
Aaron
fucking
Rodgers
good
also
too. and
was
he
still like
sucks.
top 12 in just about every statistical category last year, and clearly hated the team. Clearly wasn't bought in.
I'm just
What
making
makes you think he's going to buy into the
predictions.
Jets.
No, I agree with you. I'm just saying. You said he's not even good anymore. I think he's still a top 5 quarterback in the NFL.
I very disrespectfully disagree.
Why?
He's not.
Because you hate him, though.
I fucking hate
you
that
hate-
guy
you hate
so
clarified in a
much.
disrespect-
I'm so biased against him too because he's the most annoying motherfucker.
But I appreciate you
in
saying
the sport.
disrespectfully.
If people don't know either, Jack lived in Chicago for a few years, and that probably has some.
Oh, it has a lot to do with it. Yeah.
But,
Also,
but you're from the Bay Area.
He's not from the Bay Area.
But,
We don't
but he
fucking
went to
claim
Cal.
it. I'm a Stanford fan.
So.
That's rivalry.
Yes,
It's
but
called
it's still
it's
in
called
the,
the
same,
big game.
Yes, but it's still in like regionally. You should be like, oh, like my guy, like yeah.
Fuck no.
We should talk.
I grew up watching those teams. I would go to those Cal games. I did not like him even then. I liked Nate Longshore. That was the Cal quarterback.
I don't know who the fuck that
I
is.
liked Marshawn Lynch News. I liked Deshaun Jackson. I didn't like Aaron Rodgers.
Okay.
I love how we're talking about Aaron. Wait, did you have a point?
Yes, one point. We talk about losing organizations, and I'm a big organizational guy,
Here we
right?
go.
Like,
You are
I talk
big,
I talk
yeah.
about Pittsburgh all the time. Like they could be ass, but they're a winning
Okay.
organization. Now,
Don't do it.
at some point, a team can flip the script. Cincinnati was a losing organization for years.
Yeah.
For the history of the league.
Except they were making the playoffs decently consistently.
And they never won in the playoffs. Fucking, what was it? Marvin Lewis was like 8-8 for like 10 straight years. Carson Palmer could never win
they
a
were-
playoff
they were-
game.
they were mid.
Chad Ochocinco never
They
did
didn't
shit.
win one for like 30 years. Yeah.
Andy Dalton took them to the playoffs like 5
the
straight
Red
And they
Rockets.
flipped
Yeah.
the
They
the
never
script
won.
because
But
they
the-
flipped the organization. The Jets can do that. The Jets are building something special. They have talent at the receiver position. They have talent at the running back position. They have talent all over the defense, and the offensive line is getting better and better. They're set up to make a deep run. Now, if they get Aaron Rodgers, they're a Super Bowl team immediately. That's all I'm saying. A bad
You love Aaron Rodgers, bro.
organization can become good. The Bengals did
Well,
it.
they can become good when they start hitting on their draft picks. That's how it
The
works.
Bengals did it. The Seahawks were fucking ass before Pete Carroll and Russell Wilson got there and made them become one of the best teams over the next
but you know
decade.
what the difference is? Is that both of those teams were led by quarterbacks who were young and bought into the system of the team. Aaron Rodgers is not young and he's not going to buy in. Therefore, he's going to be so disjointed from these guys, these young guys who want to win. And I agree with you. They have so much talent. On paper, they're a much better team than the Giants. But the Giants are building around a young guy who is bought in and wants to win
And
with these
that whole
guys
team has a
as-
mindset.
who are their boys. They're all friends. They're in it together.
Can
It's
confirm.
Can confirm. Right, Rodgers
was great analysis.
is a father to these. He's a whole generation older than these guys.
No,
I just think there's a huge difference comparing those young Seahawks teams or the young Bengals teams than
Is Aaron Rodgers even like a hard worker anymore? I feel like he's not going
I don't know.
to buy
Let me
in.
give you a better
like,
comparison.
He's not going to be a good example for these guys. Like, I just don't understand. I don't understand the reasoning behind why they're all so fucking sold in on Aaron Rodgers and not Lamar Jackson. Get that,
that I
young
agree
guy
with.
who will buy in and is going to be there for. I just don't get
What's
this.
your other
I mean,
comparison?
I actually totally. That was great point on your end.
thanks.
It was actually phenomenal. As soon as you brought up like young quarter, Russell Wilson, young guy bought into the system, and then obviously Joe Burrow with the that was great. It was a great argument. I really
He's so
liked
mad
it.
right now. This guy loves Aaron Rodgers.
No, it was great.
You gonna say Peyton Manning?
No.
Okay.
No. Peyton Manning was
Dak
also a
Prescott.
young quarterback that
I'm just
flipped
saying
the cold
Peyton Manning.
script.
They won with the Broncos, but he sucked.
Where are you going?
But yeah.
Oh no. Where I'm going is let's look at Tampa. Tampa also with Jameis Winston, the years before that, the different quarterbacks. They had Josh
totally
Freeman,
different.
Josh Freeman, like fucking all these different guys.
Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady,
Josh
two different
Freeman.
people.
They're two different people, but
One's way
the
better.
argument was like two young quarterbacks bought into the system that are gonna grow into that team. Tom Brady went to the Buccaneers knowing that was a rental for him, and the Bucs knew that it was a rental. Like that they needed a quarterback that has the pedigree to go win a championship with the team that is pretty set, has a pretty strong foundation. The Jets have built that foundation. Now they're getting an older quarterback who, if he buys in, can go win. Now I know it's a
you
big
want-
if. I know it's a big if.
If you also
But
want,
I'm just saying now I'm just bringing
This
an older
isn't even-
quarterback.
you want to talk foundations, that Bucks foundation was far superior than
the
what's on the
Jets.
Jets
Way
right now.
because
better.
Jameis couldn't take him to the playoffs.
Yes, because it was Jameis fucking Winston.
And they've been playing with Zach Wilson and fucking Joe Flacco.
But they have one wide. Okay, two now with Alan Lazard. Excuse me. I think Elijah
Jameis
Moore's
is better
good.
than both of them.
Than Zach Wilson?
Yes.
Well, he's not better than Mike White because that's the Dolphins.
I just don't.
But if you look at the wide receivers too, like Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, way better than Elijah Moore.
Better offensive line, better defense. Levante Davids of the world, Devin Whites of the world.
I agree.
Fucking.
I'm just saying they had a foundation.
Carlton Davis's.
Tom Brady bought
Antoine
in.
Winfield
Will
Jr.
Aaron Rodgers
Tom
buy in?
Brady.
I don't know.
Tom Brady bought in, and there was never a doubt that Tom Brady.
Can we
was
not
knew
talk
he
about
was gonna-
Aaron Rodgers anymore?
Aaron
You knew
Rodgers,
he was going to buy in, like
Yes,
you said.
there was never a doubt. At that point in Tom Brady's career, he still was a winner. He still wanted to win.
He also had
was still
somebody
playing-
to
And that was
prove.
He was still playing at the top of his game.
When he left the Patriots, he had a chip on his shoulder. He's like, I
Yes.
want to win and prove this.
But he was coming off one of his worst years of his career in New England.
Okay,
Yeah,
but
but
Aaron
And we were
Rodgers.
like, oh, did he
Didn't they
fall
still
off?
already make the AFC Championship?
No, they didn't make it that year.
Okay.
They
Still-
barely made the playoffs that year. I think they were
They
exit,
didn't. They
first
were
round
not
exit.
good. That first
All right,
year.
well, we had a lot of things happen in free agency. We got a lot
do
to talk
have
about.
things
Aaron
that-
Rodgers isn't even on the Jets. We'll probably end up talking about this again.
Yeah.
I'm so fucking tired, Aaron. Rodgers.
I guess. All right. So the plan was for this episode is we're going to go through a bunch of different players that made moves on day one of free agency, and I just want to get your reactions.
Flip five.
You're going to just tell me good, bad. If you think it's a good move, bad move, how it affects the team.
I like
Yeah.
it. Let's
And-
do it,
and
dude.
how-
So
Next play.
rapid fire?
Yeah, sort of.
Rapid fire.
Rapid fire. All
Are
right.
we going to go like in an order so it's kind of like not just all of us yelling at the same time?
Well, I like chaos.
Okay.
I'll be
Organized
reserved.
chaos. How about
Organized
I'll
chaos.
point to you.
I'll be very reserved.
All right, Jimmy.
No, you won't.
Probably not.
All right, first name Jimmy G went to the Raiders. What do you think about it?
Oh, my turn. Okay,
Yeah.
interesting. I wonder why you picked me for this one.
What do you think, Jack?
I think it's a great signing for the Raiders. It doesn't move the needle necessarily a ton, but Derek Carr was pretty turnover prone last year. What is he? Do you have the most picks in the league? Second most? Oh, no. Dak Prescott had the most picks in the league. Sorry, that was my bad. I forgot.
Josh Allen was 2. Josh Allen was 2.
If you were
Sorry,
number
that was
four,
a random low blow, bro.
if you were number 4, you throw picks.
You like the
that's
Jimmy
true.
G signing?
But I like the Jimmy G signing for the Raiders. I think the weapons that they got, now that they got, I know he's later on the list, Jacoby Myers. You got Devontae
next.
Adams, Hunter Renfrow, Jacoby Myers, Josh Jacobs, Darren Waller. Offensive line was not bad last year for Josh Jacobs.
Jimmy G and
that
Jacoby
offense,
Myers reunited.
And Jimmy G, people forget, yeah, he played with, what the fuck is his name? What the coach?
Josh McDaniels?
Josh McDaniel. Knew it was Josh. He's reunited with Josh McDaniel.
And Jacoby Myers.
McDaniels,
And
plural.
Jacoby Myers. I don't
Myers.
know if he actually played
New
with
England?
Jacoby.
Jacoby was not there.
I don't think he was there.
It's also McDaniels, plural, just to clarify.
Okay, cool.
So
McDaniels.
multiple McDaniels.
I would say the Raiders are a playoff team if that defense wasn't so ass. Shout out Max Crosby. He's good.
Who do they take out of
about
the
it.
playoffs then? The AFC's loaded.
Yeah.
Also, it's a big if the
Yeah.
defense wasn't as
Also,
we said
Derek
about
Carr's,
this team.
Derek Carr's a better quarterback than Jimmy G.
But the
I really don't think that's like when Derek Carr at his ceiling, yes. But last year, the last few, Jimmy G has been a better quarterback than Derek
Because
Carr.
he had a better team and a better
What,
defense.
you think
to
he has a
keep him
bad
afloat.
team right now?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, he does.
Offensively, it's decently similar
But
weapons-wise.
offense isn't going to win you a
No,
championship.
no.
Jimmy G's success came from defense being able to create turnovers and be able to be put in positions to succeed with an incredible offensive coach.
I don't think his success as a quarterback and as a thrower of the football was dependent on them creating turnovers. I think that's total bullshit.
it was a variable
That's not
to
bullshit
him.
at all. That's
it is a
completely- that's
variable
very-
to
Who watches
him being
the
able to
Niners
have-
more closely, me or
That's
you
not
guys?
the point.
Like-
It's the variable to him being able to have success. He was on a team, arguably one of the best rosters in the NFL over the last couple of
Yeah.
years. There's a reason they kept going to NFC Championship. There's a reason they kept being so dominant. Jimmy G, we're going to see who the real Jimmy G is
Exactly.
on a
You're
far
going to see him.
worse
He's
team.
a fucking winner. He's a
he
good
might be.
quarterback.
He might be.
Bro, you give Joe Flacco a good system, he wins a Super Bowl. Like Jimmy G is Jimmy G. Derek Carr's a way better quarterback.
What do you think of the Jimmy G signing?
I don't really
Quickly,
care.
I don't really give a shit.
I
think
don't
it's a-
really care. I mean, the Raiders aren't good. They have some weapons on offense. They had weapons on offense last year, and they were still ass. So, to me, they're probably worse than they were with Derek Carr because Carr's a way better quarterback.
I agree.
Way better is crazy. I don't know why you can say that.
Because one
If Jimmy G was on a bad team,
What has
he
Derek
would've
Carr
been
done
out.
in the playoffs at all? Oh, I know Jimmy had a great defense.
I can't. The team also gets you.
Dude,
to the
performing
playoffs.
in the playoffs matters, though.
Okay, but wins are not a QB stat. It's a fucking team stat. The team got to the playoffs, so Jimmy's able to win. Derek Carr not getting to the playoffs is not a byproduct of him being terrible. It's a byproduct
It's like
of the
Stetson
team being
Bennett
Yeah,
bad.
but that's a
winning.
losing organization.
It's like
stays a
Stetson
losing
Bennett
organization.
winning with
Yeah,
Georgia.
it's a losing.
It's
I don't
not.
give a
Don't
shit.
give me that. Stetson Bennett's
is.
fucking good.
I don't
It's
give
like
a shit
Stetson
about the
Bennett
Jimmy
winning with
G.
Georgia.
Jimmy
It's
They
G's
don't
a-
have any offensive weapons at Georgia. They had George
Can I
Pickens
ask you
1
a
year. That's
question?
about it.
Why are you so passionate about Jimmy G going to the Raiders? Because you're a Jimmy G fan?
Because I like Jimmy G. I think people hate on him way too much for no reason, including Niner fans, and it pisses me the fuck off.
Dude.
He's a guy that we won with for years, and people neglecting was like,
Y'all
we
won
won.
with anybody.
The grass is always greener. That's what everyone always thinks.
Y'all won with Brock Purdy.
Yeah, Brock
Y'all
Purdy's
went with
good.
anybody. Okay, so every quarterback is good. Now, if every quarterback is good, shouldn't we look at something else? Maybe the team. The team is good. So anybody you put in there behind the center is going to be good.
I'm
right?
telling you, Jimmy.
I mean, let's be real.
Jimmy G was a great leader for the 49ers. I wish him the best.
But you're talking
I'm gonna
about
miss
great
him.
leader. We're talking about you now have to
talking
carry an
about
offense.
players.
In terms of pure quarterback,
He doesn't have
talent,
to carry an offense, though. He does not have to carry that offense because of all
Yes,
the
he
talent
does.
around
Derek
him.
Carr they has the same talent as Derek Carr.
No, they got
give him
Jacoby Myers now.
Yeah, you give him
It
one
doesn't-
extra piece.
like,
I
One
don't know
extra
if
piece
it-
that makes them way deeper. Hunter Renfrow was hurt a lot of last year.
Yeah, he
So was
was.
Darren Waller.
Yeah, he was. But
Josh
Waller's always
McDaniels
hurt.
is going to be out of a job in a year or two, and him being able to bring in a Jimmy G because he worked with him in New England is one of those reasons. Like, you need to build. The Raiders, the reason you get rid of Derek Carr is they better still draft a quarterback. I don't give a shit about the Jimmy G signing. Like, it doesn't matter to
If
me.
Jimmy G was on a bad organization, and like, let's say, when did he join the Niners? In like 2017 or something?
Like 5 years ago.
If he went to a bad organization, he'd be out the league right now because he's just not good enough
That's
to carry a
fucking
team.
crazy.
I don't think that's crazy at all. All right, what do you think about Jacoby Myers then, going to the Raiders?
I also don't give a fuck. The Raiders are such a bad organization. It's different from the Jets, who got a new coach in Saleh. They're building an organization. Like, you can tell that these guys are hungry. The Raiders, I don't know what the fuck is going on.
I also think you're allocating money to a position that isn't like, sure, you need it, but you
Doesn't
have a
make
lot
that big
bigger
of a
needs.
difference.
The reason you lost games wasn't because you didn't have a third weapon or a
Exactly.
second weapon healthy. The reason is you lost is because your fucking defense is absolutely abysmal.
Yeah.
So cool, go sign Jacoby Myers. He's the exact same on the Raiders as he was in New England. He's the second or third best option. Can be the one if someone goes out, and that's it. But Josh McDaniels is going to be out of a job. I swear. It's not. He's like,
You hate him.
no, I just don't.
You
I-
really don't like him.
He hates anyone that came from New England. That's what
true.
it is.
That's
Yeah.
true. That's true.
So that's why you hate Jimmy, Jacoby, Josh.
No, I have nothing wrong with Jimmy. I think Jimmy's also one of the most handsome men to look at. But I just think Jimmy G's not as good of a quarterback.
No,
as
you are
what
not
you're
allowed
saying.
to talk about his face.
Why?
After what you just did to his personality. He's way more than just a pretty face.
Damn.
All right, what do you think about the move Jesse Bates to the Falcons?
A great move for the Falcons. They got money to shell out. He's a safety. The Bengals are getting worse. That's
Yeah,
it.
I mean they're slowly building up that defense. The Bengals, I don't know. We knew they drafted Dax Hill because they wanted Jesse Bates to leave, but then Von Bell leaving too.
Well, I want to talk about that later on.
Yeah, that was.
I don't really care that much. Like, safeties aren't the sexiest position, but you tagged him last year. You knew this was
Good
coming.
for the Falcons. I mean, he's a dog.
Yeah, I just think the Falcons are trying to build something.
Yeah.
Similar to Houston, and it's kind of hard to see. They're a ways out still.
What they're trying to do is the Eagles method, where you build the whole team and then you get your quarterback whenever you.
Which
can
I
get
think
them.
it's a
Sounds
great.
very similar to a system we were just talking about in New York, the Jets.
But okay.
No, that's what they're doing too.
I think the Jets would be 1 year out from that, but that's neither here nor there.
Speaking of getting your quarterback, the Falcons also got Taylor Heineke. What do you think of that move?
That's just boring as fuck. I like Heineke though.
Bro, it's like
But he's
got a
gonna be
great tag,
he's
great
gonna be
sleeve.
competing to play a little bit this year. What are the Falcons gonna win
him
5
and,
games?
Him and Desmond Ritter, the battle of mid. Like,
Oh, Heineke's better.
well, yeah,
Heineke
but
is better.
it's not like he's that.
Heineke's cool. He's fun.
Shout
he's
out
cool to
Taylor
root for.
Heineke, St. Louis Battlehawk legend.
I'm happy for him.
That's my team, bro.
He got money. I'm happy for him, but that's about
much
it.
money?
Sold out the St. Louis Dome.
cares?
On
I mean, Atlanta has what pick in the draft?
I have no idea.
Ugh.
Again, no, like,
Well, can they get a quarterback? Is what I'm saying.
yes, but it doesn't appear that they're going to. Like, they came out and said Desmond Ritter's our guy.
Don't do that.
Yuck.
Don't do that,
All
Atlanta.
right.
Go get a quarterback, man.
The Bears have been in their bag.
Ryan Poles.
Ryan Pohl's been in his
Duffy.
bag. Bears got Tremaine Edmonds. What do you think of that move?
Well, the Bears are winning the offseason right now, considering it's only really been 1 day. But they're winning the offseason. You
I mean, the
add
biggest moves happened.
you add Tremaine Edmonds, you add
think.
TJ Edwards from the Eagles, you get DJ Moore, you trade back, you get an extra first. You're going to have the first round pick next year from Carolina. Ryan Poles, shout out. You were a terrible fucking player on the Chicago Bears, but you are a fantastic
Well,
GM
who-
right
you know how
now.
to
Why
do
you
that.
gotta
What
knock him
the
for that?
fuck is
What,
it?
It's
like,
just like it's a true underdog story.
that's rude.
Yeah, dude, it's a comeback story. Come on.
He's not.
But dude, the fact that they
He
got
came
Tremaine
from
Edmonds and
nothing.
TJ Edwards, the fact they got those two linebackers for the same price that they would have paid Roquan Smith,
It's like that game you used to play when
They've-
you were little. It's like,
dude. Oh yeah. One of these.
Oh, chopsticks.
Chopsticks.
Is that what it was called?
Yeah, you
Chopsticks.
go like this. You go like this.
I think
and
it's
I'd be
called
like,
chopsticks,
and
not
then-
China
and then-
sticks.
No, chopsticks.
That's a
No,
chopstick.
now
I
I
think it's
only
a
have
China
one.
stick.
And then I'm
I'm like, I feel
China
like
stick-
that's
I
a
don't know
little
what a China
racist.
stick.
yeah, you have 3. Can you not go like this?
That's funny as
All right. Anyway,
All right,
It
sorry.
would be a Japan stick if we're being.
bro.
Completely
Actually,
honest.
chopstick.
I
dude,
think
me and my boy from school would always play like across the classroom with each other, like chops. Like,
Oh,
It was hella fun.
the
fun
Cowboys
game.
just made a move.
Donovan
was it?
Edwards.
Donovan
Smith,
Wilson.
Donovan Mills.
Oh,
Wilson.
we
The
got rid of
Cowboys have
Donovan
agreed
Wilson.
to terms to re-sign Donovan
Oh,
Wilson.
resign? Oh, okay.
Hey, but come on.
What do you think of the Tremaine Edmonds signing?
I
Or just
don't
all the Bears signings?
Well, I mean, the fact that Jack makes a great point. The two linebackers they just signed, Edmonds and who?
Evans and
TJ
Edwards.
Edwards.
And Edwards. Same price as Roquan Smith. That's fucking awesome. That's always worth it. In my opinion, you get two guys for
Yeah.
one. Linebacker is a position that doesn't make as big of a difference as other key positions
But the
on
Bears
defense.
needed to build up that defense.
So you
Bad.
get two for one for the price of one. I think it's worth it. Even though Roquan is way better than both of those guys, I think it's
Yeah,
it's a
but
good
both
move
of them
there.
combined can make just as big or more of an
I just like the
impact.
Bears
Yeah.
because they have such a young core now. Tremaine's 24.
USA.
TJ Edwards is very young. I think he's like 26.
He's 25. I think it was like, it
he's
was like
26.
They're 25 and 24, and
DJ
then like
Moore's
DJ Moore is
25.
26.
Tremaine Edmonds is 24. TJ Edwards is 26. You got a young team. They're doing it right.
Which is
Shout out.
great.
tweeted it out
And-
yesterday,
and-
I should know.
And it's
But-
easier to have a younger team like that rally around a younger quarterback
Yeah.
than if you have an older team around a guy like Justin Fields who's still going to develop. Y'all say he's going to be a top 5 quarterback next year, but he still has to develop.
Well,
and I hope he is going to be a top 5
Year
quarterback.
three, you have to come into your own though, especially with
Yeah,
what
but
they're
coming
doing.
to your own doesn't mean top 5. It could be top 12.
Yeah, but
and I think that's
wanted
a
to,
huge.
But I wanted to.
I want it to as well.
Well, obviously we wanted to.
We'll talk about the Niners, though, because the Niners got some big pieces. Let's start with Niners got Sam Darnold.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
That's your quarterback.
How do you feel
That's-
about that move?
2024 Super Bowl MVP Sam Darnold.
You want to know what's funny? Is Sam Darnold's going to win a Super Bowl before the entire Jets organization.
Probably, yeah. No, I think it's just signing Sam Darnold's just a good insurance move for the Niners because with their injury history with quarterbacks lately, you might as well be 3 deep.
I think he's going to start for you guys next year.
You think he's going to start?
I also
Because
do.
Brock Purdy's going to be out half the year. Trey Lance, they haven't said he's going to officially be back by the start of the season. And if you're going to sign a backup quarterback right
I
now
swear
to
to
start free
fucking
agency,
God.
Wait,
if
what
you-
happened with Purdy again? Was it a UCL?
It was a UCL.
Yeah.
They said he's
Tommy
going to
John.
likely
Half
be
the
out.
year?
No, he's not out half the year.
The last I saw,
thought he was
He's going to be
gonna go
back
for
in
training
6
camp.
weeks.
the last I saw is he's not going to
I
be
thought
ready
he was
for
getting
training
Tommy
camp.
I
John
saw like a
surgery.
couple days ago he's going to be back in like 6 to 8 weeks.
I thought he was going to
I-
be good for training camp. Yeah.
I have not
I
seen
don't
that
know.
for
He's
training
supposed
camp.
to be back by preseason.
Whatever. I also think Sam Darnold might end up starting
Why?
because Sam Darnold's
Because
like,
you have two quarterbacks
Sam
that are hurt.
Darnold's like a good quarterback.
No.
Who like
I'm not saying he's starting because of talent. I'm
good.
saying he's starting
He's
because
good.
you have your
He's
two
been
other
in
quarterbacks
shitty
hurt.
situations.
Trey Lance is going to be definitely healthy
He's
by
been
the
in
season.
shitty situations. Brock Purdy, obviously, we don't know what he's like without the Niners system, right? And he was great.
I'm not saying
But
Brock.
Sam Darnold-
I'm saying because Trey Lance. Why would Sam Darnold in any world start over Trey Lance?
I'm not talking about based off of talent. I'm
I
talking
know,
about if
I
Trey
know.
Lance either gets traded, which is a possibility, always a possibility, and or if Brock Purdy's not ready, Sam Darnold is starting. Like the reason you got to get a backup quarterback on day one of free agency isn't because I have to get a third string quarterback. It's because I may need a starting quarterback. You usually get a backup quarterback maybe a couple weeks from now. Like you could wait to see how the market unfolds, and then a player's desperate to go somewhere. Signing Sam Darnold on day one of free agency tells me that there's a probability that your other two quarterbacks aren't ready by the start of training camp, and you need another quarterback that you could probably rely on. That's all I'm saying.
Nah, he's not going to start.
Interesting. All right. Javon Hargrave to the Niners. How do you feel about that one?
That was good. That was a good one. Yeah,
good. It's a really good one.
It's good.
To be honest, don't really know enough about him. I just know he's good.
He's really good.
We needed a D tackle, run stopping D tackle like him. That was a really good pickup for the 49ers. You add Javon Hargrave to it. The already best defense in the league. That's nasty.
Yeah, the rich get richer.
Yeah,
It's good. It's a good signing. You beef up the defensive line. You already have guys off the edge that are coming at you. Now you got a guy up the middle that's
got
stuff in the run. That's underrated because
Yeah.
a great pass rush does not mean that you're good at stopping the run. So you get a guy that's able to do that. It really.
They were already one of the best teams stopping the run last year,
Yeah,
too,
exactly.
man. Oh, my God.
Hey, the rich get richer.
You got Bosa,
I already said that.
Armstead.
You can't
You said
repeat.
that?
You can't repeat.
You said that exact
Yeah,
same
he
line?
said that. He said that.
Whoa.
not
All right.
that-
Yeah, you on that Niners defense now, you got Bosa,
totally
Hargrave, Armstead, Fred Warner, Talanoa Hufanga.
Great name.
You just got some Drake Greenlaw, I think, is going to be
Some
back
dogs.
too. Yeah. And I think they're going to re-sign Travarius Ward. I like them.
Unfortunate.
Nah, they're the best defense by far. That's a
They
fucking great
need
defense.
to replace Jimmy Ward at safety. Don't know who you're going to do that with. They need to get another corner, but that defense is disgusting.
regardless.
Safety's not too hard to replace, or as hard as a corner or CB.
Niners
or,
need a corner,
or
bro.
DN would be,
If they get a
yeah.
lockdown corner, it's fucking over.
You guys should trade for Jalen Ramsey.
Oh yeah, we should. Yeah, he'd be good.
Trade the Dolphins. The Dolphins trade for Ramsey. They trade him to the Niners.
All right, we'll talk about the Broncos. The Broncos got Mike McGlinchey.
I think that's the best signing in
Fucking
free agency.
stinks.
It's the best signing in free agency.
Are you
Mike
serious?
McGlinchey?
Have
Yeah.
you watched Mike McGlinchey
Do you
ever
realize
in
he
your
got
life?
more money than Teron Armstead did last year as a tackle?
Dude, have you watched one snap
And
of
he's
Mike
worse.
McGlinchey ever? He's fucking horrible.
Teron Armstead is one of the best tackles in the NFL.
Why do you like
got
it?
a way less deal than him.
That's cool. It's good value.
I wanna hear why
But
you
you
like
need to shore up the offensive line. If you're the Broncos and you had struggles offensively the whole year,
The only
obviously you get rid of your coordinator and then you bring in offensive linemen. You go do it. Mike McGlinchey has had a great career.
They also got Ben
no,
Powers.
he's not. Mike McGlinchey's been probably the worst part of the Niners offensive line the last 3 or 4 years. He can't pass block to save his fucking life. He's a great run blocker.
He can't protect his
That's
nuts,
why he
is
has a
what you
good
said.
PFF grade, is because he's a great run blocking right tackle. But he can't
That's
pass
great.
block to save his
the
fucking
Broncos'
life.
foundation is going to be running the ball. Mike McGlinchey.
how the hell are you
Mike
gonna protect
McGlinchey's one of
Russ?
the- Mike McGlinchey. You're trying to defend. Look, and then it's not personal, Jack. You lose a player, it's okay. It's okay.
No, I'm
the
glad
Niners
he's
can lose a
gone.
player, it's okay.
I hate
Mike
he
McGlinchey's
sucks.
one of the best linemen in the league, and then you sign him if you're the Denver Broncos. You give Russ some protection. You give. I don't know when Javonte Williams is going to be back because he obviously got injured, and apparently it's worse than it seems. It's
One of
gonna
the
be
best
good.
linemen in the league.
I think that needs a rephrasing. Was arguably one of the best available. So in terms of Denver's case, yes, go out. They get Mike McGlinchey. They get Ben Powers, a guard from Baltimore. So yeah, they're bolstering that offensive line. But to give him a lot of money, like look, that's what you have to pay. I just
much
don't.
is it?
They gave him like 82 mil, 84 mil or something.
Jesus.
I just think. The problem with these types of signings
Well, like
is
$80 million
you give
just
someone
suck.
so much money and then you have the expectation that they are going to come in and compete to the level of which like being a top 5 tackle or whatnot. And there's a probability that Denver just fucking sucks. I don't know. But yeah, I think it's a good signing. Like you need to bolster your offensive line. But
Yeah.
I also don't really give a shit. Give me like sexy players.
I mean, offensive lineman is the most valuable position probably in the game. Period.
Quarterback?
Quarterback.
After quarterback. Quarterback's a given. So it's like we don't even have to talk about
Cornerback?
quarterback. Nah, I take lineman over
Lineman
corners.
for sure.
Yeah.
I agree.
Jawan Taylor went to the Chiefs. What do you think of that move?
I think it's a good move for the Chiefs
That's
because they're
huge.
losing Orlando Brown. I think it's an even bigger move for the Jags because everyone just thinks that the Jags were so fucking good. And when I say everyone, I'm talking about the people to my right. They were so good because of what Trevor
You're a
Lawrence
Jags
did.
hater.
No, I'm not at all.
Yeah, he is.
I
He
love
hates
Trevor
Trevor.
Lawrence.
I don't know why
I just
he hates
think
Trevor.
I agree with what you just said. The offensive line is the most important thing outside of the quarterback. You just lost your starting left tackle, arguably the most important position on the offensive line. So you don't just get to replace one of the better tackles in the NFL like it's nothing in the draft. That's
I don't
not
know
how
if
it
he's one of
works.
the better tackles.
I've never heard of him before, so I don't.
He is
really.
one. Jawan Taylor was one of the best tackles
What was
in
his
the
PFF
NFL this
grade?
year.
His
I don't know that.
I was
off the
just
top
watching
of my head.
ESPN shit for the first time in like 5 years. I felt like Adam, and they were talking.
Up.
They were actually not Get Up, but I finally have a TV, so
Whatever
I was
the
like,
5
let me
a.m.
just put it on in
show
the
is.
background. And yeah, exactly. And they were apparently, according to their ESPN Advanced Analytics, whatever that means. What's his name? The tackle, Adam.
Jawan Taylor.
Yeah,
Juwan Taylor was like 60th. So like,
Oh,
I don't give a
one
fuck
of the
about-
better tackles in the game.
He was one of the better
it's a
tackles in
huge
the game.
downgrade for the Chiefs because they lost who they
Orlando
lose?
Brown.
They lost Orlando Brown. Huge downgrade. So they didn't get better. Let's make that very, very clear. But I guess you kind of replace.
Chiefs,
Well, you have to replace.
the
I
Chiefs
mean,
are
if you
still
don't
going to win the
replace,
Super Bowl again.
they're still gonna be fine.
Yeah, I could protect Patrick Mahomes at left tackle would be fine.
Yep.
Just go out there, pass block.
Yep.
It's about the quick feet, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Quick feet.
All
I
right.
think it's a bigger indictment on
Here's
the
a
Jags.
guy. Patrick Peterson went to the Steelers. What do you think of that
Who
move?
fucking cares?
I don't
old.
care. What, Adam? Yesterday you were talking about Pat Peterson being a big signing.
Yeah, big name.
Oh,
Big name. Yeah.
I mean, not a big name anymore. I would.
I think
disagree
he would have
with
been a
that.
better fit in Cincinnati because you need a corner. But you go to Pittsburgh,
Yeah.
like I don't know. Pittsburgh's the type of place that you get an older corner.
That's like
to
when
come
Pittsburgh
in.
got Joe Hayden.
Yeah,
It's
Exactly.
like,
It's
They
later
do
on.
this. They
well,
do
they got
this.
Joe earlier than Patrick Peterson.
yeah,
that's
Joe
for
Hayden
sure.
when they got him was actually
Out
still
of Cleveland.
okay.
Yeah. Would-
Ben, what are you doing with your Siri going off?
Ben,
Excuse me, Ben.
I-
I'm on a
somebody's
podcast
fucking
here.
guy.
Well, no, I think Pat Peterson is underrated at this point in his career. I feel like people just forgot he existed.
No, he's still
He actually had a
fine.
pretty good year for Minnesota. It wasn't a bad year, but he's not the superstar he was. But Mike Tomlin does well with these guys.
should
These
call
older
Patty
guys that
Picks.
come in,
Patty
play
Picks.
well in the system.
Patrick Peterson.
He's gonna have success.
Whenever he has an interception, they should call
Steelers
him
love
Patty
their
Picks.
Steelers love their veteran corners.
I love Pat Peter. Man, his prime was
He was
ridiculous.
awesome.
Oh, he's insane.
He was so good.
He could play receiver too. He did it. He did it all.
The Bucks got Jamel Dean. What do you think of the move?
It's a great move.
Well, they re-signed to be clear.
Yeah, they re-signed the Bucks re-signed Jamel Dean.
Yeah.
Matan,
Yeah,
4 years, 4 years, $52 million.
You're reading that like you know who he is.
I don't know who.
I don't
he
either.
is. But apparently he's good. They gave him 4 years, $52 million.
He's really good. It's a big signing for the
Sounds like
Bucks.
something big.
And I feel like they've been losing a lot of guys, and they're going to continue to lose a lot of guys. They're probably going to lose Devin White next year unless, I don't know, some good stuff happens for them. So, I mean, you have to retain some of your guys, and that's a good one to retain. We've talked about corner being valuable, so.
He's your cornerstone. Yeah. No, you had to re-sign him if you're the Bucks. I think it's a good move. It's like I agree with everything.
You know,
you
it's like
said.
the San Francisco.
Yes!
It's like the San Francisco Giants when they re-signed Alex Cobb last year.
Great comp.
Bro,
Great
nah,
comp.
Alex Cobb, bro. That shit.
Actually, for all the guys that I don't
Great
know,
comp.
I'm going to comp it to a baseball signing
Great
from this
comp.
offseason.
Yeah,
This
good.
would be
Nah, Alex
fun.
Cobb was fucking insane, bro. What he provided
here's
for
one.
the Padres.
What position was he again?
A shortstop.
Good shit, bro.
Bro,
Right.
Darryl
Right.
Strawberry, best player on the Mets still.
No cap.
Yo, he's on the Mount Rushmore of cokeheads.
Facts. Shout out, though. Shaq Mason to the Texans. That's a
good move
big
for the
one. What do you
Texans.
think of that one?
It's a good move for the Texans. They
Jack.
exchanged a
Good for my
sixth and a
take.
seventh rounder.
Hey, get that clip out here at some point. Because I
was
want
it?
it to be known that weeks ago I did say most improved team this year would be the Houston Texans.
You might need to say it again.
And Adam
'cause I
gave you
think-
some shit.
You might need to say it again.
Did you lose the footage?
Yeah, we lost the footage. It's deleted
God
off loosely.
damn.
You could still get it, but yeah, okay, keep going.
Well, I was on a tear when I said it last time too. Now it's going to be
We can revisit it.
A
We
lot
can
more.
resurface it
I
after
think
the
Adam
not as-
deleted
not
it
as
because he was
good.
giving you shit for it, and then now it's like.
Yeah, we never posted that out there when I was going crazy with the Texans because I think we have a couple non-believers in D'Amico Ryans and the boys out there, but
It's not a non-believer. It's just a.
So you think the Houston Texans are going to be the best team in their division this year?
no, absolutely not. The Houston Texans will not win the AFC South. The Jaguars will. Jaguars are going to get one of the top 3 seeds in the AFC next year, in my opinion.
Okay.
But
So what
I
does it
think the
say?
Houston Texans could make a run at a wild card spot. They're going to be the most improved team in the NFL this year.
If you go from 1 or 2 wins to like 5 wins,
That's what
just
we were talking about a few weeks ago was who do you think is going to be that team to make that big leap, that jump? And that, I think, in my opinion, is going to be the
I think
Texans.
they
3
can get
wins.
more than 5. I think they can get 7.
Hey, all right.
I think they're going to be
7 and
hovering
11.
around. I think the Texans will hover around 500 this year. They're going to make some moves this offseason like they've already
Around
done.
500 is huge.
Yeah, I think they're going to be around 500 to get you in. You know what they're going to be? They're going to be that team that's in the hunt. When you see that graphic,
Yeah.
they're going to be
Which
in
is
the
great.
hunt the whole year. You love to be in the hunt if you're the Texans at
Yeah.
this point. They're going to go out and draft Bryce Young because for some fucking reason the Panthers want C.J. Stroud. Beyond me, I love C.J. Stroud, Ohio State guy, go Bucks. But I don't understand. I.O. So you're going to go out and draft Bryce Young. You're bringing in a couple pieces. You got John Mechie, who's a dog at Bama, is going to be healthy this
Now
year.
you got Shaq Mason.
Yeah, you got Shaq Mason. You got Jimmy Ward. You're going to
Damian
get Al
Pierce.
Shire from the Niners. D'Amico Ryans is going to revamp that defense, who was better than people thought. I said borderline top 10. They were not top 10.
Hey, Andre Johnson.
Andre Johnson is going to come out of
Portland-
retirement.
no,
Owen Daniels.
Aaron
Daniels.
Foster.
Arian Foster.
Oh,
good
No,
take.
but you got Damian Pierce, who's a dog. You got some pieces around there. I think you can
Facts.
build around.
Yeah, I mean, look, if you're coming off of Bryce Young's rookie year
Neck
and
Mills.
you're in the hunt, you're excited. Year 2, let's go compete. Let's go make the playoffs.
Yeah.
And this is a window.
Let's go Texans.
Texas.
Nah, fuck Houston, real talk. But for
The rodeos this weekend.
yeah,
Yeah.
oh, so there you go. You know more about that than me. But for the first that's like you're looking at a window if you're a Texan fan. It's a window of like
We got one more.
you get a long window. If Bryce Young is that guy, then you got a long window. But I think you're really looking at competing in 2 to 3 years. But if you're in the hunt this year, then you're in business.
So you
Especially
like
with Bryce Young coming year 2
You like
after that.
You like Shaq Mason on the Texans?
We do got to bring it back to Shaq Mason because that was the point. Yeah, I love Shaq Mason. Look, if you're gonna go draft Bryce Young, you need to address the offensive line. We talked about it, and he's been one of the best guards in the league for a while. Yeah. So you bring him in,
Man.
you play him.
They could use a guy like Laramie Tunzel, though, at tackle, or like a receiver like DeAndre Hopkins. That
Well,
team
they
would
still
kill
do
it.
have Laramie Tunsil.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That's true.
You like Shaq Mason?
I mean, I think he's the 3rd best Shaq that I could think of.
Third,
Who's second? Skylar Shaq?
Shaq Barrett.
Shaquille O'Neal,
Shaquille O'Neal,
Shaq Leonard.
Shaq Leonard, and Shaq Mason.
Skylar Shaq, though.
No, I like Shaq Thompson.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
He's really good.
Nah, I think it's a good move.
All right, I got one more player.
Let's go.
Eric Kendricks went to the Chargers. What do you think of that move?
Very Chargers-y move.
Very
Chargers,
Chargers. They
yeah.
love them names that can't put it together
yep.
like, as a team.
Man, on paper,
On paper,
that
they're
team's
ridiculous.
crazy.
Yeah, y'all
on the
fell for it
field,
last
We should
year.
do paper rankings.
ass.
You should do a paper rankings because the Dolphins are going to be
You're
up there
absolutely
somewhere.
correct. I am. I do. The Dolphins would be very high up there.
I think the Chargers are the most papery team in football.
They've always
I
been
would
that.
say
They've always been
they're
that.
super papery.
Super paper.
Y'all
Yeah,
fell
for
for it.
that-
Y'all fell for the paper last
Oh,
year
totally,
too.
Yeah.
totally. And I'll fall for it again, probably.
The Chargers and Dolphins.
It's the social
It's not how
media.
football
It's the
works.
social
Now
media
think about
narrative.
who is more papery between the Dolphins and Chargers.
If
Well, who are
if
the
the
Chargers
Dolphins
receivers?
didn't just
Keenan
get
Allen, Mike Williams.
if the Dolphins
Josh
didn't just
Palmer.
get Vic Fangio, I'd say probably the Dolphins. But because they have a DC that actually fits what they have, then I would say
The Dolphins have no run game though. That's what really hurts them.
run game, like offensive.
No, they got
Oh, yeah.
they got papery guys, real good on paper. Raheem
Sorry, we're gonna
Mostert,
get Derek-
track star.
Jeff Wilson.
Jeff Wilson, dude, you
Like-
got some real
When
papery
I
players at
think
running
I
back.
agree with you.
No.
But we
Raheem
get
Mostert is not a papery guy.
Yeah, he's not. He's not.
Hey, he was a national champion.
not.
Running
Derrick
track at
Henry
Purdue.
is a papery
Yes.
guy.
No, but
Yes.
he's actually
Hey.
good. He's not
Like,
papery.
The Dolphins are about to add to the paper.
Dalvin Cook would be a
Dalvin-
papery ad.
Dalvin
Where
Cook's
he's-
better than Henry.
No, but yeah.
Whoa.
You think Dalvin Cook's a better running back than Derrick Henry?
Yeah.
Let's dive into that.
He's way more complete.
No, I agree
He
with
does
you. I
everything
just-
better. You agree?
I agree with you.
Yeah, he's way
I think
better.
Derrick Henry's a better runner.
Derrick Henry just no, he's a better
runs
runner between the
straight.
tackles. What's his name? I already forgot his name. I was gonna say
Dalvin?
David Carr. That's what the fuck. Dalvin Cook is better than Derrick Henry at everything except running downhill between the tackles,
Well, I also
which
yeah.
the running back does a lot. Obviously,
Got to run between the tackles.
Also, people forget how dominant. When Dalvin Cook is healthy, Dalvin Cook is arguably a top 3 running back.
Big when.
Well, he was
That's
pretty
a
healthy
big
last
if.
year, so I was happy for him.
And he didn't
the one thing about
Derrick
Derrick Henry is he's always
good.
healthy.
I went 1-13 with him as my first round pick in fantasy.
Well, he didn't score
last year.
touchdowns because
So I got-
Kevin O'Connell brought you back down.
I got
to
two
passing
questions
level.
for you.
McConnell.
Two questions.
Who-
Two
the
questions.
first one is who won day one of NFL free agency?
Well, does day one can mean day 0 and what happened before too? Because the weekend, because
What?
then I can't count the
Yesterday.
DJ Moore.
Who is winning NFL free agency so far?
It's a good question. Oh,
How's that?
Or the off season, just the whole off season.
Who is winning the NFL offseason so far?
There you go.
The Bears.
the Miami Dolphins.
No, they're not.
Really?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
Why?
Because he's a Dolphins fan.
I got to think about it.
See, because he's a Dolphins
Bears.
fan.
Tell me why the Bears.
I mean, you got DJ Moore and like a 55,000 picks for your first overall pick. You got Tremaine Edmonds. You got the dude from the Eagles. Forget his name, but
Edwards.
he's good too. Yep.
Mr. Poles. Mr. Poles.
Ryan Poles. He's doing work.
Poles.
He's doing work.
Ryan Poles.
No,
They've been playing. The thing with the Bears, I feel like you can tell that they've been planning around this offseason for years. Because when I lived in Chicago, which is almost 2 years ago, people were talking about this 2023 offseason, we're going to have a lot of money.
Well, no, I think if you actually need,
That's
if you're
funny.
looking at
They're
like
looking years
they're
ahead.
crazy.
Yeah,
if
'cause
you're
they were so
looking
bad,
at
bro.
all the pieces and what they've gotten, yeah, the Bears have won the offseason. They've replenished. They've gotten, picks. They've gotten an alpha wide receiver one. Like, they're getting what the team needs, and they'll get more in the draft. But I'm going to still say the Dolphins because of Jalen Ramsey. Fuck you mean?
That doesn't.
That's all y'all got.
It moved the needle literally zero.
Hey, my
No,
needle.
moved it a bit. Moved it a tiny
like
bit.
No. But on paper,
On paper, plus
on
30.
paper-
Oh, that's a very papery move.
such a paper
Yeah.
move.
I love the paper.
Very
moves.
Well, very
papery.
much so on paper.
We're going to start that. I want that to
Felipe,
be a
what would
thing.
you say?
Who won the offseason? Who's winning the offseason so far?
Do not say the Jets.
No, they haven't yet. They can't.
Well,
if they
I'm
get
just-
Aaron Rodgers, then yeah, you can put him there. But the
I
Jets
still
are not.
don't think if
I
they get
still
him, they
don't
win the
think-
offseason.
Nah, if they get one of the best quarterbacks of all time, they win the fucking
Yeah,
offseason.
I
No
agree.
question.
No.
No.
You don't want to say that because how many times do you have to put your Dolphins bias on air, bro?
No, I just also don't. I think I will take the Bears still. I look at like what a team
Look,
needs.
if the Patriots get DeAndre Hopkins and Lamar Jackson, they win the offseason.
Bro, big if.
Right now,
Oh,
now,
what? Yeah, who is saying that's going to happen?
I haven't even
right
seen
now,
that.
right now, the team that won the offseason, it's either Chicago or it's the Denver Broncos.
The Broncos.
Because you get Sean Payton
Fair.
True.
Fair.
and you add ammunition to the offensive line.
But you're about to give up one of your wide receivers.
Who?
Jerry Judy and Cortland
Cool,
Sutton.
this
they both
motherfucker's the
went out.
biggest Jerry Judy hater in the world. I
But
don't
you're
think-
not, and neither am I.
No, I don't
No,
love Jerry
I
Judy.
didn't
I'm
even
just
know
a
the news
realist.
they were going to give up a receiver. So
Oh
that's
no,
why I'm
that's
asking
been
you.
floated around.
It has been.
Cortland
yeah.
Sutton and Jerry Judy.
They both have
I'm
been
pretty
bad.
sure Jerry
Well,
Judy
no,
went
it's
with
the right
Giants.
move to build
Can someone
around
tell
Tim
me
Patrick.
the news?
The news?
It's The news is that the Denver Broncos are planning to build around Tim Patrick. And trading Cortland Sutton or Jerry Jeudy is part of that.
Look.
Why would they do that?
Look, you get rid of one of you guys. Like the receivers
Pats
aren't
are
making
10
that
on
big of a
offense.
difference right
You
now.
guys, see, like
No,
that's
and
a very nitty gritty move.
I don't know.
right
That
there.
was like one of the first things that was floated around with Denver is that they're shopping
I'm
those
also
guys.
for work all day. I'm on doing baseball shit, so I don't really think
true.
about or see football news the
It
whole
makes
day.
sense though because they need to replenish those picks because they got fucked in the ace with Russ.
Yeah.
What else do we got?
No, let him finish his rant. The Broncos. Why do you like the
Oh, why do you
Broncos?
like the Broncos?
Unbelievable.
Oh my god.
I thought you were done.
No.
Well, look, Russell Wilson, like you said, he got fucked in the ass with that Russ trade last year. But if he can bounce back this year, you make that thing right. And they're doing everything possible to right the wrongs from that trade. So you get Sean Payton in, a great coach who works great with quarterbacks. Obviously, we saw what he did with Drew Brees. Drew Brees, people forget.
He wasn't shit before he got to New Orleans.
San Diego didn't want him.
Yeah.
The Chargers didn't want him. Goes to New Orleans. Sean Payton, obviously, Drew Brees becomes a Hall of Fame quarterback. So you get Sean Payton to work with Russ, and then you start building up the offensive line. What do you do with skill positions? I don't know. Javonte Williams will be healthy at some point this year. They should probably in the draft go get. Yeah, I hope so too. In the draft, go get a receiver. Go do some stuff, and then who knows?
Nice.
It'll
I
be
think I like
interesting,
what the Broncos
if
are doing.
the Broncos suck though, and they get rid of Russ, they're not righting those wrongs with the Russ deal.
What, if they get rid of Russ?
Yeah, they said it came out that Sean Payton's going to give Russ 1 year.
Cool.
That's it.
But this is the year I'm talking about. We're talking about this offseason.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
I could see a bounce back year for us for
I
sure.
could see it too.
Who's been losing the offseason so far?
Three
Anyone?
teams: the Buffalo Bills, the Cincinnati Bengals,
Damn.
and then slightly the Philadelphia Eagles because they've lost defensive pieces. But they did just get Jason Kelsey back. The Bills are the biggest losers of the offseason, though.
I love the delivery. It was good. It was cute.
What'd I do?
You delivered. Your delivery was good.
Yeah, I was just watching.
Why are the Bills?
It was
Why are the Bills the
interesting.
biggest
I
loser?
agree with
I-
I think you got the three teams right there.
Yeah, I don't think I even got to talk right now. I'm just gonna let Adam do
What
his
you got?
thing, man.
Why are the
The
Bills?
Bills lose Leslie Frazier, which is their defensive coordinator. They didn't expect that to happen. That was like a sudden move. They're likely going to lose Jordan Poyer. They're all pro safety. They're just lost Tremaine Edmonds. They did re-sign Matt Milano as their linebacker, so I'll give them that. Matt Milano is a better linebacker, and Von Miller did restructure. But the Bills right now, like you just look at the Bills, and they did add Connor McGovern from the Cowboys.
They
but
did.
I just look
Conor
at
McGregor?
Conor McGregor.
Wow.
I look at the Bills and I just think like
Talented guy.
you've just regressed over the last couple of years. Like your defense is worse. Your defense is what almost kept you alive outside of Josh Allen. So their defense just got absolutely worse, and you're losing your DC. You don't just find great defensive coordinators every day. So I don't. I think the Bills got worse. I think the Bengals. Yes, you knew you were going to lose Jesse Bates, but you didn't know you were necessarily going to lose Von Bell just like that. So now you lose your two starting safeties. You thought you were going to potentially get Patrick Peterson. You don't get him. I don't think Lyle Collins is going to be ready by the start of the year. I don't know. Don't quote me on that. Their offense, it's not like they're bolstering that offensive line again, which like wasn't as good. So I just think the Bengals got worse. And then you look at the Eagles. They just lost pieces.
What was Lyle Collins? Was it ACL?
I think so, yeah.
It was something like that. I think it
Well,
was
they're
his knee.
definitely not gonna be ready. Probably.
The Eagles, yeah, and he was like, that was like a mid-season tear.
That was
The Eagles have lost some key pieces.
But the Eagles knew this was coming because you have all these picks.
Which
the
sucks,
Nakobe
'cause you
Dean,
lose
the
a Super
Jordan
Bowl.
Davis,
Yeah, that does suck.
Yeah,
You're
they
that
tried to
close.
go with the Rams method, but then they didn't win the Super Bowl.
You could buy, you could buy your way to a Super Bowl, but it doesn't always. Obviously, you don't win the Super Bowl. It works.
But the one
out
thing about the
recently.
Eagles is they're really good at doing that over
I
again.
agree.
They're good at building, scratching, and then scrapping it and building right back up.
But if Darius Slay leaves and actually does, C.J. Gardner-Johnson's out. You lose Javon Hargrave. You lose T.J. Edwards. You're relying now on Nakobe Dean. You got Jordan Davis who couldn't stay
fine.
healthy and you draft him. Like you are going to rely on rookies, so it could look a lot different. They could still be good, but those three have been the biggest offseason losers in my opinion.
I think they believe in Jalen Hurts so much. At the end of the day, like a great quarterback will get you to where you need to get. Right? Obviously, you need help to get over the hump, but they're probably okay with losing some of these guys because what we said with Josh Allen. The addition of Stephon Diggs and some of those other pieces really developed him. He's not the same guy he was before. Now, if you take Stephon Diggs from him, he's way better than he was before Stephon Diggs.
Yeah.
So I think it's something like that with the Eagles too, where Jalen Hurts has gotten so much better with the pieces they put around him. You lose some of these guys, it's going to be okay.
I just want to bring up one more thing.
Sure.
Do we have time for that?
Yeah.
I sent it early in our group. Have the running backs been devalued more than ever in today's NFL. Like,
Well, I think
You know who
no
did that?
question.
It was Jerry Jones giving Ezekiel Elliott a fat bag and him sucking after that.
I do think that's a good
That's like a
point.
huge reason for it, I feel like.
Felipe, I love you.
No, I mean, it's not wrong. I was just trying to think of other
He was
guys.
processing
It's-
the Cowboys slander.
But he's
No,
one
no,
of
it's not just that. Look at Christian McCaffrey in Carolina. Look at Dalvin Cook in Minnesota.
yeah.
Yeah, it's
Like,
all
there's-
these guys.
there's
Joe
never-
Mixon, bro. The guy, Samaje Perine comes in, he does better than Joe Mixon. Joe Mixon has the
I mean, we've
contract.
also been saying that it's just like not as valuable of a piece because it's really about your offensive line.
Well, I think there's never been a
It
worse
is.
time if you're a running back to want to get paid. Because now we have
sucks.
4 of the biggest names and best running backs in the NFL in Derrick Henry, Dalvin Cook, Austin Eckler, and potentially Nick Chubb, which has been floated around
Eckler's
in
not
trade
up there, but
rumors.
yeah.
I don't think Chubb's going to go anywhere. But the fact that you could even float those 4 names, which have been some of the biggest in the NFL over the last couple of years, as potential trade, partner pieces,
people
I
who want
suppose.
out. People who want out.
You're just it's a bad time to be a running back.
And
You have so many free agent running backs. No one has signed. It's
You know what's crazy about that too is you can probably get one of those guys for like a fucking 3rd round pick.
it's
like,
not a
even
bad time
higher.
to be a running
Even
back.
lower.
It's
Yeah.
a bad time to be the best running back in the league. You know what I mean?
That's a great point. That's looking at the
because
glass half
you
full.
can
Good shit,
because
Matan.
every team wants to give a mid running back an opportunity and pay
Yes.
their offensive line, whereas those 4 guys, they don't want to give them They don't want to give them $40 million a year. You know what I mean? Like,
Nick
So-
Chubb,
40
Nick
million
Chubb
a year.
deserves like 20 a year.
you know what
Look,
I mean?
if
Nick
you-
Chubb deserves to be
They're
the
not
highest
trying to
paid.
give him. They're not trying to give him supermax contracts
for sure.
At the end of the day, if you're a
Super
running back
max.
coming into this league, you got to know the lifespan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're a quarterback, you know you can play for a long time. But a running back, like teams will. It's what the Cowboys did with Zeke. It's what they did with DeMarco Murray. It's what the
How much
Titans
does
have
Zeke
done with
make a
Derrick
year?
Henry. They're going to give him 300 carries a year. And by year 5, if you're a first round pick, you get a 5-year contract,
what
right?
the fuck?
How much
After
does Zeke
year 5, you
make?
can't. You're done.
How big was Zeke's contract?
It was like 12.
It was 90. It was 90 million up for 5 years, I believe.
Sheesh.
Can I throw something out? I just want to get your thoughts. I saw this on Twitter. Someone said the age of the bell cow running back is now officially over.
I disagree with that statement.
Bell cow?
Can you
Yeah,
tell me
like
about
a 3
that?
down back, someone that can
That-
carry
yeah,
the
but-
ball.
yeah.
Yeah. I think for sure with the evolution of the passing game and everything and how important it is to have like a receiving back. I feel
Yeah,
like-
but
Well, the receiving
3 down back though like
implies that you could be a
receive,
receiver
yes.
out of the
so
backfield.
like
you could
Saquon
carry
is
the
a
load.
guy who is a 3 down. Like he
there's
would
only a
play
few
for
of
3
them in
downs.
the league anymore.
Saquon comes off the field on a lot of 3rd downs because his lack of ability to
He doesn't
block.
play every drive anymore.
He doesn't block very well, which you
Yeah.
need to if you're 3rd down. A bell cow running back would be like the Adrian Peterson with the Vikings.
Correct.
Yeah.
What Zeke has been for the Cowboys.
Correct. A
Guys
Derrick
like-
Henry, even though
Derrick
he comes
Henry,
out
yeah.
on 3rd down. He's a
There's
bell cow.
not many of them though
Yeah.
in the league.
I disagree with that statement, even though I agree that the game has transitioned to more of a passing game and you need a guy with versatility as a running back. But it's like fashion, right? Like old styles always come back.
Yeah.
In style, right?
Good take.
So I think it's the same thing with the offense. Like
The
you're gonna
Veer
see,
offense is coming, baby.
you're gonna see it come back. Now I'm not saying that we're gonna be seeing wishbones. Like we're not gonna be
I hope
seeing
so,
3
dude. Hell yeah.
backfield running back. We're not gonna see a fullback with 2 running backs like we used to. But I think at some point, like a team's gonna go ahead and like try something. It's like when the Dolphins brought in the Wildcat. I don't know if they invented
Bro,
the
how
Wildcat.
did no one know? They invented it, right? The Dolphins did?
It was
I think it
definitely-
was something
like a
that has
college
happened.
Thing.
Yeah.
It's happened, but Tony Sperano brought it back to life.
And here's the thing. I forgot who I read a book and damn, I'm gonna tie my shoe while I talk because my shoe just untied. But
Multitasking.
multitask. I can't really do it because now I forgot what I was talking about. But no, it's like if you look at linebackers today. Linebackers are getting smaller and smaller and smaller because they got to be able to. Because as you get 4 or 5 receivers on the field at the same time, they got to be able to cover them. So then, what punishes that defense more than anything? A big bruising running back.
Yeah.
And then what? Now what do you have to do as defense? Is you got to start getting bigger linebackers. Eventually, you're gonna have more bigger linebackers again. It's a game of waves, and I feel like eventually we're gonna get in a stage where bigger running backs, bell cow running backs, are gonna be dominating the game again. It's just not right now. Right now, you got guys like Eckler dominating the game. You got 5'7", 5'8", 5'9" guys that can catch the fuck out of the ball. Like Deuce Vaugh's gonna be a really good player in the
Yeah.
NFL. He's 5'6", like a buck.
5'5", bro.
5'5", like a $170.
Jeez.
He's gonna be great, but I think it's gonna evolve. But right now, I think you're right. Christian
Yeah.
McCaffrey's, the Dalvin Cooks. If he could stay healthy, they dominate. But
Yeah.
All right, well, we got to wrap up, but very excited to see what else happens in this offseason. Maybe Aaron Rodgers, by the point that this is out, will be on the Jets, or maybe not. Who knows?
Or maybe it's going to be Zach Wilson.
Real quick, don't forget to go to the link in our bio for NHA, No House Advantage. They're giving a 100% deposit match up to $100 with the code CAPSOFF in all caps. So be sure to sign up for NHA as soon as you can. Get some money in the game. Bet those over-unders, whatever you're thinking.
Bro.
Daily fantasy with NHA. The other thing is March Madness this week.
Oh, yep.
So go to also, it'll be on Twitter. If you're in the Discord, you already know about it, but we are doing a Caps Off March Madness bracket. Be sure to sign up. It's going to be a Google form.
Should we?
You got to be 18 plus.
Should we say who our Final Fours are? Because this comes out, we don't have an episode till Friday then at this point.
Alabama?
I don't think we should. I'm not ready for it either.
I'm not.
Oh, I got
Who
mine.
gives a fuck?
But think
a
about
fuck
it.
about March
Go to the
Madness?
links in
No,
our
no,
bio.
no, no.
We're going to add a link in our bio. We're going to also,
got
you're
mine,
going to see it on Twitter on the Game Day NFL. It'll be in our IG story, wherever you can find a link. So join our March Madness bracket. Be sure to do that. You guys are going down. I know.
Duke is beating Gonzaga in the finals. Bye.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, wait, did you say the winner for the bracket?
No, what happens to the winner?
So if you win the bracket, so if you sign up, we'll put you in a bracket. If you're 18 plus, by the way, 18 plus, and then you win the bracket, you will get a $150 Fanatics gift card, which is equivalent to an NFL jersey, an authentic one, a
nice
stitched
one, a real
one.
one.
You really good one. The one I
Patrick
got,
Mahomes.
Patrick Mahomes. So it's really nice. Just don't pay $30
That's a great gift.
like next day shipping.
I'm going to win that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
All
hope
right.
so.
Peace. See you next time.
Bye.
Disagree with any of these takes? Let us know in the comments. Remember to like, subscribe, and if you want to play daily fantasy with us, No House Advantage is matching up to $100 for new users if you hit that link in bio. We'll see you there.